So yesterday, we talked about two main words. We're in day 5, I think. So we're still dealing with proportions. But we talked about two things yesterday. We talked about equivalent and proportion. And yesterday, I think it was Cooper who said, I know what equivalent is. Was it you, Cooper?
Yeah.
And Cooper said, it's equal. Well, not really. Equivalent means they're going to be the same eventually, either after they're simplified or if they're proportional, but they are different numbers, different terms that when simplified are the same. Okay? So we know how to find out if they are equivalent. But what if I ask you, find two equivalent, pause, let's answer the phone. I can't wait. I hope it's something good. Maybe they're offering me a new job.
Oh, hey!
This is Mr. Hans Basilis.
So enthusiastic.
Absolutely. How about Mr. Ryan Golden? Any good else?
Oh, we're just kidding.
I hope you come back. Okay. So, it's going to say find two equivalent numbers for 2/5. How are we going to find equivalent numbers to this ratio? What do you think? So we need two numbers that are going to be the same when simplified to 2/5. So what do you think I'm going to need to do? Nevaeh, what do you think?
So are you trying to make it like equivalent?
Uh-huh.
4 and 10?
4/10 would work. How did you get that, though?
Because if you simplify 4 and 10, you get 2.
Okay, so how do I go from 2/5 to 4/10, though?
You divide it by 2.
To get from 2/5 to 4/10. Instead of dividing, I'm going to? Oh, so what Nevaeh is saying is we can take this fraction and multiply both the numerator and the denominator by the same number. 2 times 2 is 4. 5 times 2 is 10. 4/10 is equivalent to 2/5. Can somebody give me another number? I mean, at this point, we should look and say, wait a minute. You're multiplying by the same number in the numerator and denominator, but we need something that's going to match up with 2/5. What else can I do to 2/5 to get me another fraction?
8/15.
Okay, how did you get that? What did you multiply it by? Well, we already multiplied them by 2.
Well, I feel like
So let's multiply this one. What do we want to multiply this by?
3.
Okay, let's multiply it by 3. We take the numerator, we take the denominator, and we multiply. 2 times 3 is 6. 5 times 3 is 15. Those are equivalent. Could I get another one? Could I get something that's pretty big? Well, let's try for a third one. I want some bigger numbers. Go ahead.
100 and 200?
100 and 200. Well, that would be 1/2, not quite. Brooklyn?
7.
What am I doing with 7? Good. To find equivalent fractions, folks, we're just multiplying both the numerator and denominator by the same number. 2 times 7 is 14. 5 times 7 is 35. That's an equivalent fraction to 2/5. Could I do this and say 2/5 and multiply them both by 200? 2 times 200 is 400. 5 times 200 is 1,000. If I simplified that, guess what? It's still equivalent to 2/5. So to find equivalent fractions, you multiply both the numerator and denominator by the same number. Questions? Could I check to make sure those were all equivalent? Well, sure. I could take, let's do 2/5 and 14/35. I could take 2/5 equal to 14/35. And now what would I do? How would I check? Cross multiply. So I would have 5 times 14 equals 2 times 35. I know this side is 70, so this side better be 70. 0 carry the 2. Woohoo! Brooklyn, you want to do woohoo yet? Come on, Brooklyn. Woo. Brooklyn. You're going to run so much at practice now.
Just woo, it's not that hard.
Woo.
Woo.
Woo. Okay, questions? Go ahead, Weston. That was awkward, man. It was a little higher pitch than I think it was. It was like, okay, whatever. Good job, Weston. So, we now know how to find equivalent fractions. Yesterday we knew how to make sure that they were proportional or equivalent. Today's our last day with proportions. And I promise you that it's not that hard. The only difference today, though, is you're going to actually have to read. That worries me a little bit because some of you are like, oh, read? I don't know how to do that. I know, that worries me. So, you might get something that says $4 buys 6 cabbages.
What?
Oh, man. It's...
You don't know what a cabbage is?
It's a vegetable.
I know what a cabbage is.
$4 buys 6 cabbage. Eyes back on me. So $4 buys 6 cabbages. How many cabbages can I buy for $48? Okay, $4 buys 6 cabbages. How many cabbages can I buy for $48? There are 2 different ways to do this. One, you could find a unit rate and find out how much per cabbage it costs, right? Yeah, that's going to be too much work. I don't like that. I can also set up a proportion. But in this proportion, I've got units. $4 and 6 cabbages. I know $4 buys 6 cabbages. And the way I could read this is $4 for 6 cabbages. Everybody agree with that? Now we're trying to find out how much $48 can buy me. So here's what I want you to take a look at. What unit is in the numerator? Dollars stays in the numerator. What unit's in the denominator? So cabbages stays in the denominator. Well, what do we know? Do we know money or do we know the cabbages for the next ratio?
Money.
We know money. So we put the money there. What are we going to put where the cabbages are? Do we know how many cabbages? Do we know how many cabbages?
No.
What do we put in the place of something that we don't know? Cooper? Huh?
A value.
A variable.
Variable.
So let's call it C. Okay? Now what? Okay, do it. Cross multiply. Give me an answer. Show me your work. The key with word problem proportions is making sure that the units stay in the same level. If money's in the numerator, money stays in the numerator. If cabbages is in the denominator, cabbages stay in the denominator. Okay, so at this point, we're cross multiplying. Did everybody get to the point where we have 288 equals 4C? Okay, so we're trying to find C, which are our cabbages is. What do we have to do at this point? What do we always have to do, Corey?
Divide by 4.
Divide by the number next to the variable, which is my 4. So I'm going to divide both sides by 4. That leaves me with my C equals, and now I'm going to do some long division. 4 goes into 28 7 times. 7 times 4 is 28. That's 0. My 8 drops on down. 4 goes into 8 twice. No remainder is 0. So if you put 72 equals C, do you think I'm going to count that correct?
No.
Why not? I want hands. Why not?
Does the variable have to be first?
No. What is this?
Oh,
Whoa, whoa. Arms up. Jojo. If it's a word problem, what do I need with my answer?
You want me to say it?
No, I need a word. So if I'm doing a word problem, what do I always need to have with my answer? A unit. So this isn't just 72 equals C, it's 72 cabbages equals C. That is a lot of cabbages. Questions? Ryan, you're back. Howdy. Okay, let's do another one. Let's make it a little bit tougher. Since Ryan can't shut my door, let me go shut my door, Ryan.
Oh.
come on, Ryan.
Come on, Ryan!
Blame it on the Dang it, Ryan.
No, I'm not going to blame... Wait a minute. Pause.
Blame it on Dorothy.
Blame it on the door that you couldn't shut it?
Yep. It's not my fault.
Good talk.
That's not my fault.
Okay.
The
So,
ability to shut itself.
Ashley came back from Mexico with 313 pesos.
What are those?
That's the money.
Oh.
Mexican money.
Okay. Pause. She wants to exchange the pesos for dollars. The exchange rate is 12 pesos per $1 and 20 cents. How much money to the nearest cent? Nearest cent. How many decimal places if it's nearest cent? 2. How much money to the nearest cent does she exchange? So copy it down. I want to give you a minute. Let's see if you can solve this problem. This is our last practice problem. Let's see if you can solve this problem. Good luck. Good luck. Copy it down. Set up your proportion. Start to do some multiplication and division and all that happy jazz. And we'll go from there. Once you've got it set up at least, raise your hand so I can come down and take a look. You should have it set up. Make sure you have units, because we have to keep those units the same. Instead of yay, you know what you can say? Instead of yay, do you know what you can say? Get to work. Okay, so let's pause here. I'm not going to give you the answer, but we're going to kind of work out the proportion. So what are the, right now we've got 3 pieces of information that we have to have. There's pesos, there's more pesos, and there's dollars. It does not matter the order that we put this. Doesn't matter whether dollars is on the top or the bottom. So once you choose, keep it there. Jaden, dollars top or bottom?
I did the bottom.
Okay, so dollars is going to be down here, which means dollars is going to be down here, which means pesos is up here, pesos is up there. Which 2 numbers have to go together? Which 2 numbers have to go together? Blaze?
The 314
No. It tells me right here, this is a rate. 12 pesos per $1.20. 12 pesos per $1.20. So for every 12 pesos, we get $1.20 back. Everybody with me? Okay. I'm going to write pesos so it doesn't look like a variable. Now, what has to match up? Kendall? What am I going to put either on the top or the bottom? What's the other number that we have, bud? Okay, does that go in my numerator or denominator? Numerator, because that's how many pesos Ashley is exchanging. Do we know how much money she's getting back? So we will call this D for dollars. Now you have a proportion. What do you need to do for that proportion? Let's go. Got 2 more minutes. Bless you. Go. Okay, so right now, when I cross multiply, I add 313 times $1.20 equals 12 times D. That's my cross multiplication. When I multiply 313 times 1 and 20 hundredths, I get 374 and 60 tenths. That equals 12D. What do I need to do here, Brennan?
Divide
By?
by 12 by 374.
Yeah, so we're dividing by 12. So now, long division, 12 has to go into 374 and 60 hundredths. 12 goes into 37, 3 times 12 is 36. That leaves me 1, 4 comes down, the decimal goes up. 12 goes into 14 once, 1 times 12 is 12. Leaves me with 26, 12 goes into 26 2 times. That's 24, that's a 2. 0 comes down, goes in once. 1 times 12 is 12, which is 8. Do I stop there? Cooper?
For the multiplication, whenever you got 374 and 50 hundredths,
Did I do something wrong?
It's 2 times
Yeah.
1.
Oh no, what did I do?
Yeah, it's 2 times 1.
Oh no!
Yeah, so it's 300.
Oh man. That should be 375 and 60. Okay, let's try again. This is why you guys are here, to make sure that I don't make these mistakes. Oh man. Okay, try again. So now we've got 12 going into 375 and 60 hundredths. Let's see how much that changes it. 3 times, decimal comes straight up anyway. That's 36. Gives me 15 once. 12 gives me 36. Oh, that's going to make a big difference. Goes in 3 times. So that's 36. That's 0. 0 comes down. 0. So how many dollars does she get? She gets $31 and 30 cents. Questions on how I got this? Thank you, Cooper. We good? You will have homework.